Let's go on a road trip together. This past week has been my birthday week, and I wanted to spend a few days of it in my favourite place in England, Glastonbury. Glastonbury is well known as the home of one of the world's biggest music festivals, but that isn't all that it's known for. Glastonbury is one of the most magical places in England. So come along with me while I experience the sights, sounds, and magical atmosphere of this beautiful town. It was a little bit rainy, a little bit cold for July, and I may or may not have spent a good proportion of my time standing in a bookshop. But what else could you expect from me? Our first stop on day one was in the city of Wells, where we immediately went to see the cathedral. It is the most beautiful building I have probably ever seen. It's actually a little hard for me to comprehend how many figures, carvings, and intricate details there are on almost every face of this building. And if you're lucky, you might be able to hear the choir or the organ being played from inside, as we were on this particular day, which made up for the rain. While in Wells, you may well recognise several areas that were used to film the movie Hot Fuzz. And if you've never had the chance to see the movie, I would thoroughly recommend it. It is so much fun. We ultimately end up walking the same routes that we always walk. We've been to Wells dozens of times. We'll walk up this beautiful street with gorgeous cottages, and then we'll walk around the edge of the Bishop's Palace moat, where you may well be lucky enough to see some wildlife. Wells is not only popular with people, but also with nature. While I was there, within just 5 minutes, I saw wild rabbits playing and fighting in the fields. I saw a buzzard off in the distance, and a small, very damp, very newly fledged robin landed just a few inches away from me in an attempt to dry himself off. It was amazing despite the rain, and if you have the chance to spend a few hours or even an afternoon in Wells, I would thoroughly recommend it. So I'm actually in Glastonbury right now, and it is very late and I am very tired, but I am here to celebrate my birthday in my favourite place on earth. So I'm gonna pick this up again tomorrow when we go into Glastonbury, because today we got in late afternoon, we walked around the beautiful city of Wells. I absolutely love it there. I had some close encounters with some wildlife, which I'm incredibly happy about. And then we went to a new restaurant to us. I'm pretty certain it wasn't there last year, the Lounge in Wells. I'm pretty certain it's new, but it was really nice. And then we came back to the hotel, played some card games, and now I'm sitting here talking to you, and I feel like I could fall asleep at any moment. So I am gonna get into the glorious waterfall shower, and then I will talk to you in the morning. For anyone wondering, this is the shower in question. All of these hotel rooms have a waterfall shower, and I am obsessed with waterfall showers. They are the coolest thing ever. So I will probably be using this every day that I'm staying here just to make the most out of it. And this is me. Hello, I am very tired. I've said that about a million times. I just don't do well on minimal sleep. I forget what I've already said. I forget what I'm doing. So I'm gonna go and chill and relax and prepare myself for tomorrow. Because I don't know what we're doing yet. We might be walking up the tour, we might be going to the Wells, we might just be doing some shopping. Honestly though, the weather looks kind of grim, so we might just do the shops. I'm looking very disheveled here. My shirt is just like untucked. I have just given up for the day, so I'm gonna go sleep. Okay, I might have lied a little bit. I realized that I wanted to release the merch on my birthday, which by the way is tomorrow. And I haven't actually finished editing the merch because I keep putting it off. So I decided it was time. I'm actually wearing like the first samples of the first merch drop. So this is the second. I'm so excited about it. The full color t-shirt is my favorite. So I decided to spend the 50 minutes before a phone call for my birthday at midnight to finish the merch. Hopefully, maybe, fingers crossed. We will have to see how much I get done.
I know I say this a lot. Everything takes longer than you think it will. Okay, I figured it out. Oh
my Apple Pencil is dead.
I was cleaning everything
Of course
up,
it is.
so it was
Why would it not be? Oh my goodness! It's so pretty. Like legit, it is so freaking pretty. Oh, it's so cool. It's so freaking pretty. It's actually nicer in person than I thought it was gonna be.
Like I was.
Like you were, exactly. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. It kind of doesn't feel like it though, I'll be honest. It feels like literally any other day. Like actually any other day. But today's kind of grey and miserable, so I'm wearing this fake leather jacket, secondary jacket, mesh shirt. You've seen this a lot. I wear this on like every single one of my videos. Favorite jeans, giant boots, all of my makeup stuff. And then I have a few pieces of jewelry on. So I have some rainbow moonstone earrings. I have a few rings. So I have my Harmony Nice X Dixie rings, which are these ones. I have a little Triskelion. And then on this side, I have an open locket ring that keeps opening. It's actually got a garnet in it. Technically my birthstone is a ruby, but close enough. And then I have 3 necklaces. I have my pentacle necklace that I wear all the time. I have my birthday heart necklace. This is something that I only ever wear on my birthday. I think I got it on my 21st birthday and I've worn it literally every single year since. It only gets worn on my birthday, so that's out today. And then I have this necklace, which I actually got at the foot of Glastonbury tour about 8 years ago, 7-8 years ago, and I got it from a street seller and I have never seen them again. It's a tree like this. It is very, very cool. So I also wear this. You can hear my stomach growling. So I also wear this. So yeah, and this one is also a birthday ring. I got this one on my 22nd birthday and I've worn it every single year since. Can you tell I'm a creature of habit? I'm majorly a creature of habit. This light though, damn, it is so nice. I need to get me one of these. These hotel rooms are really, really nice. I got some really lovely gifts this morning, so I'm gonna have to show you those later because I don't have time to do it now because it's 11 o'clock. We need to go into Glastonbury and start looking around, otherwise we are not going to have enough time because you know me and my bookshops, I will be in there all day, literally all day. I couldn't resist going in some of the bookshops, so we started in Labyrinth Books, which have a lot of books all about Glastonbury, Glastonbury Tour, ley lines and the like. And then we made our way into Wildwood. Wildwood is one of the most beautiful stores on the high street. Even if you don't get anything, just the atmosphere in the place is amazing. They have this gorgeous mural with the goddess statue and offerings, and that mirror is absolutely beautiful. I didn't get anything from this store this year, but I have done in the past, and it's always well worth stopping in for a visit. We also made sure to visit Starchild. This is where I love getting a lot of the bigger candles from and also the loose incense. While I was here, I did get myself a few of the larger candles that I can't really get from anywhere else, and it is a beautiful store. I ended up in the Speaking Tree. I couldn't miss it. It's one of my favourite shops on the high street. This is a bookstore that focuses primarily on new witchcraft, occult and pagan books. So I did end up getting a few from in here. And then we walked past Celestial. This is a crystal store and it is so gorgeous. But I don't typically use crystals that often within my magical practice, and it was so busy inside that I ended up not going in. We're now back in the hotel, having spent the entire day in Glastonbury, and it was really good, really emotional, really tiring. I am absolutely exhausted. I don't even know what time it is. I think it's only about 5 p.m. and I'm so tired I could get into bed, but instead I have an hour and 15 minutes to get ready to go to a restaurant, and instead I'm filming this video. Is that a smart idea? Probably not, but now we're here. So we're not going anywhere fancy tonight. I don't really enjoy going to very fancy, expensive restaurants. It's not really my thing. So we're just going to a really small, cozy restaurant that we've been to lots of times. So the bonus is I don't have to wear anything ridiculously fancy. I can just wear what I would normally wear, which is what I feel comfortable in. So that's going to be really nice tonight. But we had a really good day today. It was very emotional, as birthdays with me usually are. I am a Cancer. I am a very emotional, heart on my sleeve kind of person, and I always cry on my birthday. always. So today was no different. I did have a little bit of a cry partway through the day, and we did go through lots of the different shops in Glastonbury, and it was really nice to see some new shops and some shops that I absolutely adore, and I might have gotten a few things. Now, I didn't go completely bananas in the shops, so I have a little stack of books here which I got today. I will go through them in a minute so that any of you who are interested can see the kind of things that I am currently researching and learning about at the moment, but I might end up adding to this tomorrow because we're actually going back to Glastonbury. Well, technically we're still in Glastonbury, we're in a hotel in Glastonbury, but we're thinking of going back to Glastonbury tomorrow, and it's going to be my favourite day because I love walking the tour, I love going to the Avalon Orchard, I love going to the White Spring, and I love going to the Chalice Well. And that is what tomorrow is going to be. I'm very, very excited about it. So I will probably go into a few of the shops just to pick up a few extra things. There were a few pieces and a few herbs that I still wanted to pick up, but I wanted to do it tomorrow. I didn't want them to just be sitting in a bag, you know, for the next 2 days in an entire car journey, you know? So what I did get in Glastonbury. I'm gonna start with the candle things just so that I can get them out of the way and I can tidy them up again, but I do use candle magic a lot, as many of you will likely know, and for the most part I do make my own candles. Or should I say more specifically, my dad makes the candles for me because he's a sweetheart who makes all of the candles for the store and the mystery box and everything else. So I will often commission my dad to make a candle for me if I need it within my spell work and my ritual practice. But there are a few candles that we don't make. We specialize in very detailed candles. They're very specific candles, and sometimes I just want very generic candles. So I had a few candles at home that I couldn't burn safely without a candle holder, and I have a few workings planned that I needed big candles for. So I might have purchased a few things. The first things that I got, actually I think they were actually the first things that I got all day today, were 2 candle holders. They are kind of hard to see because of the background that's behind me, but this is a small candle holder that is for the, you guessed it, smaller candles. And this is a beefy candle holder, but it is metal and it is designed for the big candles. Oh, I didn't tell you, these are from Starchild. By the way, if you come to Glastonbury, you will recognise Starchild almost immediately. Now, I have the Zodiac candles from Starchild. I actually got a Cancer Zodiac candle last time I was in Glastonbury, and I thought that I had one of these at home. I got home, realised I didn't actually have one, and the Zodiac candles are huge, and I didn't feel safe burning it without a suitable candle holder, which I would recommend anyone who wants to burn candles, make sure that you have a suitable, safe setup. And I didn't burn it last year because I didn't have one of these. So I got one of these so that when I get back tomorrow night, I am going to be dressing and doing everything that I need to do on my Cancer Zodiac candle so that it can go on my altar space. So that is what this is for. It is big, and I'm actually not sure where I'm going to put it. It actually looks like a mini hat. Like, doodles. I don't know what, I'm in such a weird mood tonight, I apologise. And then I got this smaller one. This is actually for the candles I purchased today, because when it comes to candles and candle magic, safety always has to come first. I then got what I refer to as a bubble candle. This is the candle in question. It is a really weird texture, and it's actually a different colour on the inside to the outside. Now, I don't use these in my witchcraft, but I do like having them available to burn during the darker half of the year. And now that Letha has come and gone, technically we're heading into the darker half of the year right now. These ones are super cool because as they burn, the inside wax is what drips out. So because this is purple on the inside and green on the outside, it's going to drip all purple wax down it. I have a few already in my collection. I have a black on the outside with red on the inside, and I have a black on the outside with green on the inside, but I wanted a real Beetlejuice kind of candle. So I love these, and I got one of these. I then got 3 other candles. I got a plain, really tall candle. I think this is a 12 by 1 inch. The Zodiac candles, for reference, the big ones are 12 by 2 inch. So it's this height, but double the width. So that's why I needed this giant candle holder. But these are just the standard plain candles. So I got one in this like ivory color, and then I got one in green. And that's because recently I have been using candles in my candle magic a little bit differently. Instead of burning an entire candle in one go, which I do often do, and I still do it today, if I want to use the same candle again and again and again, I will stick a pin in the candle. I will dress the candle with oil up to the pin. I will carve it. I will charge that section. And then I burn it down till the pin falls out, and then I snuff the candle out, or I blow the candle out, and then I can reuse one candle dozens and dozens and dozens of times, and it makes candle magic a lot more affordable. And for that exact reason, I like getting these ginormous ones, because they're really easy to dress and they burn relatively quickly up to where the pin is, but you can get maybe 20 different workings out of a single one of these candles. So I got these two, one for kind of general all-purpose and then one for prosperity, because I do a lot of prosperity workings when it comes to the business and everything else. So I find these two colors super useful. I would have got a black one as well, but they didn't have any black, so I went with these. They only had this color, and red. So I went for these because that's what they had, and I'm super excited about using them, and I just want to wave them around. I don't know, I feel like a kid with like drumsticks. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna put these down now before I break them. And then I also got one of these candles. Now these ones are slightly different. It might look exactly the same but in purple, but I promise they are actually different. This is the lunar or the moon candle. So this says, the herbs and oils included in this candle are associated with the moon. So these are actually infused with oils. If you've been on my channel for long enough, you will have seen me use the Mercury version of this candle for a Mercury retrograde working that I did a few years ago. And they're actually fragranced gently because they do contain energies and oils that you can then add onto. Now, because I'm wanting to connect more and do some more astral projection, do some more dream magic, I really enjoy working with lunar energy. So I got this candle to help amplify the workings and the rituals that I'm already doing towards that goal of manifesting and amplifying psychic abilities and the ease of astral projection. Essentially, I'm trying to be able to control my astral projection instead of just doing it randomly. So that is what I'm hoping that this is going to help me with. Fingers crossed. That's all the candles out of the way, so let's move on to the books. Now, I do have quite a few. I didn't get too many, but as many of you know, I don't really like buying books from large, giant online corporations. If you know, you know. I instead prefer to buy from small independent sellers. All the better if they specialize in witchcraft, ritual, or magical traditions. That is really where I want my money to go. And so when I am in places like Glastonbury, I do like spending a little bit more money than I probably need to on books, because I know that it supports someone who really deserves to be supported. So I did get a few. Now, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time going through them. I'm just going to quick fire go through them, tell you who wrote it, what it's about, why I got it. If you would like more detail about all of these books, I am going to be doing a video after this one, so you can go and check that one out and see if anything takes your fancy. But I didn't want to bore you in a vlog, so I'm going to make this as speedy as I can, because you all know that I can talk for England. Literally. The first book in this pile is Fire Magic by Josephine Winter. Now, I got this book because it's all about fire magic, and fire magic is actually my favourite form of magical practice. I love candle magic, I love burning petitions, I love working with bonfires and fireplaces. I just love fire magic. That makes me sound like a pyromaniac. I promise I'm not. It's just a form of magic that I've always really enjoyed. And I also have the first book in this series. There's actually 4. I already have water. I'm still gonna get air and earth. But I found the fire book and I just had to get it. And I really want to expand my practice with the element of fire a little bit further beyond just elementals, fire spirits, and working with fire itself. I really wanted to do more with it, so fingers crossed that this can help me do that. I then got Witchcraft Into the Wilds by Rachel Patterson. Now, I know the author, but I have never seen this book before. I've never even heard of it before, but when I read the blurb and I read the information, it really resonated with me. It's all about connecting to the roots and bones of witchcraft. Not about ritual, not about having dozens of items and dozens of magical tools. It's about connecting to the root of witchcraft. And so it really resonated with me, and it was also secondhand and £6, so of course, I was going to get it. And actually, this is probably going to be the first one I read, because it looks really interesting. Next up, we have The Flame in the Cauldron by Orion Foxwood. Now, this is a book that I've seen floating around for a good few years and I've never ended up getting it. It's all about a book on old style witchery. So I had to get it. Now, I did see a few copies of this floating around, and actually I found an annotated copy of this in a secondhand store after I'd already purchased this one, but hey ho, someone else can have that one. Now, this one is all about getting back to your roots again in some old style magical practice, and so I was gonna give it a go, plus fire, cauldrons, you know. It's all up my alley. I'm going to give this one a go. I'm not convinced on whether I'm going to like it or not, but as with all of the books, I'm going to come at it from an open mind. Next up, we have Old World Witchcraft by Grimassi. This is actually a book that I've had my eye on for a very long time, and when I found a copy, I just had to get it. This one is, as you would expect, all about Old World Witchcraft, and so I was really excited about it. It seems really interesting, and I do like Grimassi's other works. I absolutely love the book on familial spirits, and so this one is also going to be really up there on the books I read first because it looks so interesting. Also, for reference, in case you can't hear it, someone is vacuuming right outside the hotel door, but there isn't really much I can do about it. It's what happens in hotels. We're just gonna have to deal with it. The next book that I have is Oak, Ash and Thorn by DJ Conwy. It's all about Celtic shamanism. This is a book that I've had my eye on for several years, and when I saw it in this shop, I just couldn't let it go. I've been really interested in this topic for a long time. It seems really cool, and it does talk a little bit about fairies in it, which, you know, I absolutely love. So I did pick this one up because I'm very curious about learning a little bit more on this subject. And then the last book that I got, I've actually seen for about 8 years. Every time I go into this one bookshop, there's this one book that's always sitting in the exact same space. And every time I go in, I say, oh, that looks interesting. I have never got it. I finally got it. This is Sigils, Cyphers and Scripts by M.B. Jackson. Now, this author actually has several books on sigils in varying forms. This one, however, really interested me because it has a lot. You have everything in here from planetary chimeras to magic squares, angel symbols, trees of life, flowers of life, ideography, histograms. I don't even know what an histogram is. You have so many cool things in here, and I've been really interested in this book for a long time. I finally got it. So we'll have to see. We even have like spirit seals. This looks really interesting. When I woke up this morning, I had a few gifts that were waiting for me to open them, and honestly, it's just so heartwarming that any of my family and friends would be willing to give me gifts for my birthday. It's honestly just so sweet. I actually did open one of them last night. Technically, it was after midnight, so it was fine. A lot of the gifts were food related or witchcraft related, which honestly is kind of the best combination. Now, I have the biggest sweet tooth in the world. It's ridiculous. I just could eat sugar 24/7. I love it so much. So I got some Percy Pigs. These are amazing. If you live in the UK and you can access a Marks and Spencer's, the Percy Piglets are vegan and they are stinking amazing. They're so good. I then also got some chocolates. These are my favorite chocolates ever. These are violet and rose flavored chocolates because my favorite things are basically all plant flavored. Like, I love elderflower cordial. I love violet chocolates. I'm just a bit odd. And then one of the family friends sent me a coloring book, and it has the most beautiful, like, pagan inspired art in it. It's just so sweet, so I'm so excited about that. My parents did get me an illustrated copy of one of my favorite books, but it's on my bedside table right now. It is so unbelievably beautiful. And then my partner got me a lighter. Now, that might sound really insignificant, but it is the most beautiful lighter I think I've ever seen. I'm not even sure you're going to be able to see what this is. This is the Wheel of Fortune tarot card engraved on a Zippo style lighter. And on the back, it has my username for my YouTube channel, HearthWitch, engraved on it. Oh my god, it's actually beautiful. This is the prettiest lighter I have ever seen. I have been using a very old lighter for about 8 years, and now I have this one. It has no fluid in it because obviously you can't ship it with lighter fluid in it. It is actually amazing. So like, holy shit. I can't get over the fact that people are actually willing to get me things, let alone things that I actually like and that they've put time and effort into thinking about. It just, mind blown. Mind blown. So I'm very excited when I get back to be able to use this in my spellwork and rituals, because now I have a really beautiful lighter that I can use, and that is just so exciting. To be fair, there isn't actually that much more I'm going to do. I'm just not sure whether I'm gonna change my shirt or not, but regardless, I need to fix. Can you see how shiny I am? You can literally see the reflection of this light in my face. I gotta fix this. So powder is my best friend. Then I have to decide what I'm actually gonna wear. I am gonna wear my jeans and my boots as normal. I think I'm gonna switch this out for something else perhaps. And I think I might switch out my shirt, because as much as I love this was actually a gift. I think this was a birthday present, maybe like 8 years ago, something like that. And it's amazing, I love it, but for my birthday, I wanted to wear a dress, but honestly the weather here, it can't decide whether it wants to chuck it down or whether it wants to be sunny. So I think we're gonna go for something else. I think I'm gonna go for this. It is like an emerald green velvet. The only problem is, right, velvet, everything sticks to it, everything. So I forgot my lint roller. And now this looks like I have been around pets a lot, but it is super pretty. I think that this is what I'm gonna wear. And then I'm gonna put on some perfume. I don't really wear that much perfume because it gives me migraines, but there is one perfume that I love more than any other, and it's this one. This is 29 High Street by Lush. It smells like a legit Lush store. Like, that's what it is based off. It's based off, I think it's based off the Oxford Street smell that's in the Oxford Street store. Wow, I got stuck on all of those words. It smells like a Lush store, and I love Lush stores. I love the smell of them. I love the perfume. So we're wearing this. I have my earrings on still from earlier. They are fine. I might wear lipstick. Is a lipstick a good idea when I'm going to be eating food? Maybe not a lipstick. I might go for a lip gloss if I can find it. So I'm going to wear this. This is Glacier by Colourpop. It was the Raw Beauty Christie collection, so I'm going to wear this. It's probably my favorite lip gloss ever. It's so comfortable and it looks so pretty. Pody. And also, there's basically no point wearing a lipstick when you know you're going to a restaurant, right? I see no benefit to it. I'm just going to be eating it off anyway. I may as well not bother putting it on. So, lip gloss for the win. Though it is pretty windy outside, so maybe that was a terrible mistake. And then I'm trying to decide whether I want any green on my inner corners. This is actually the eyeshadow I use every time I'm doing green. For anyone who's seen previous videos of me wearing green eyeshadow, I use this. This is the High Society palette by Colourpop, and it has some really, really beautiful greens. They look like this. They're real pretty. I love this one in the middle. So I'm trying to decide whether I want that, or should I just go classy and not? Maybe I should just not. Okay, never mind. I found the eyeshadow I actually want to wear. This is Stargazer by Urban Decay. It is like this super shimmery topper eyeshadow. Like, it's not meant to be like pigmented. It's just super shimmery, and I think I'm just gonna like slather my face in it. That is what we're gonna do. Okay, and with that, I need to brush my hair. I need to pick the jewelry that I want to wear, though to be fair, I think I'm just gonna stick with the stuff that I was wearing earlier, and I need to put my shoes back on, even though my feet hurt. So this is the outfit I ended up going for. My hair is just down, air dried. I couldn't really do anything else with it. I would probably have liked to curl it, but I don't have any styling tools with me, so I kind of couldn't. I then have a green velvet shirt. This is probably my favorite shirt ever. Pretty certain I actually wore this exact look last year on my birthday, but it's just a really beautiful flowy sleeved green velvet shirt, and so I wear it constantly, usually with these jeans with this like super chunky belt. I just love it. I then have on some plain black skinny jeans, and then we have these are probably my biggest New Rock boots, and they're also the most comfortable by far. They actually have springs in them. I'm not sure if you can see that. They are so unbelievably comfortable. I wear them everywhere I go. I love them so much. So I also wear these because you can wear these with any outfit. Skirts, dresses, jeans, shorts, you name it. You can wear it with these. So I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna be late. I might already be kind of late. And I'm gonna have some delicious food, and I am very looking forward to it. So it's now the final day. I'm all packed up and I'm about to leave. This is actually the last thing that I'm going to be doing before we go. Last night we got back in super late. We went for a really lovely drive out through the countryside. We found a few amazing views and we managed to stop at one and go for a bit of a walk, and it was so lovely. We went through some lovely villages. I love the word lovely, have you noticed? And it was just absolutely, you guessed it, lovely. I did find it interesting at this one location because in this large expanse of open grassland, they had left a singular elder tree right in the middle that was currently blossoming with elderflowers. I just thought that was a pretty cool thing to find. It is so beautiful out here. Like, legitimately amazing. The sunset is happening right behind me, and we were just in a random lay-by, seemingly just in the middle of Somerset, and it is beautiful. And then I got back in and I spent many hours on the phone to different people, different friends who were wishing me happy birthday, because there comes a point in your life where your friends really only have time to interact with you on birthdays and on Christmases. And so I often find that birthdays and Christmases are just the one time I talk to so many people, and then we all disappear off the face of the earth for another 6 months, and then we pop up again at birthdays and Christmases. That tends to be what happens. So it's about, what time is it? Whatever that says, 10:35. We are about to leave. We were meant to leave at 10, but I, as usual, did not leave enough time to pack, and I am messy as hell, so I couldn't show you the room beforehand because the minute I set foot into it, I exploded in the room and everything started to look like my house, which means it looked like an absolute mess. So we're now going to get everything in the car. We're going to check all of the rooms, check out, go for some breakfast, lunch, brunch, you might say. I absolutely hate the word brunch, it just sounds so stupid. And then I think we're gonna go to the tour. I think that's probably gonna be the first thing. Today the weather is pretty miserable, so I'm just hoping it's not gonna rain because I am wearing adorable dungarees and I don't want to get rained on. I actually don't mind the rain, but I think my parents might mind the rain. I will show you what I'm wearing today so you can see the adorableness that is dungarees, and yeah, then I'll show you the room really briefly and then I'm out of here because everyone's waiting on me and I am annoyingly talkative, so there's that. So this is the outfit of the day. My hair is up in a giant claw clip because I have ridiculously long hair and it gets in the way so often, so I figured for walking up a tour I'm gonna have my hair in a clip, it's just easier. I have on my cute little sun earrings that I love, same pentacle necklace. This is the same necklace that I was wearing yesterday because I really only wear it in Glastonbury. I then have on this like super cute crop top, and then the best bit are the dungarees. Yes, they have so many pockets. We have a pocket here, we have a pocket here, we have pockets on the booty. It is awesome. I love dungarees. They're actually incredibly comfortable. I do look a little bit like a toddler, but you know what? I'm okay with that. It's a cute look. I like wearing dungarees, honestly. The only problem I have with them is that if I need to pee at any point today, I have to basically strip off in order to get the dungarees off. There is no way of doing it that is different. Real quick, this is the room. We have an office desk over here with a giant mirror over the top of it. We have window with kind of mediocre view. We have chair that is way harder than you think it's going to be. I learnt this the last time I stayed in these rooms, and yet I still sat in it because I have lower back pain and I cannot sit on the bed. We then have said bed and fake leather jacket. This I didn't realise actually moves, so we ended up playing cards a few nights because you can move it out and put it like over here. And then there's enough chairs, there's 1, 2, 3, the bed, chair over there, that you can all use, which is cool. These rooms have these cool lights, which is just freaking awesome. This piece of artwork is in every single room in this entire building, I think. And then we have this section with giant mirror, little mirror, a really mediocre hairdryer, and then the bathroom, which actually is awesome. I did show you this yesterday. The shower is freaking amazing. I love it. And then outside, this is the view, and actually I'm not sure if you can see it, but just to the left-hand side, you can actually see the Tor. I'm hoping that if I zoom in, can you see that? Just there. That is Glastonbury Tor. That's how close we are. You can walk from here into Glastonbury and then up to the Tor. So that is what we're going to do today. But as you can see, the weather is pretty shit. So we just have to hope it doesn't rain. There is a 70% chance of rain from 1 o'clock onwards. So if we do this now, we might miss it. Maybe. Also, there's cute cows. Look at them. Aren't they cute? Okay, I'm gonna go now. More cows. Okay, I'm like a child today. I'm just interested in all of the farm animals. I am going to go and get something to eat. I think I actually prefer this outfit with my hair down. This is my hair down. I think I look less like a toddler, an overgrown toddler, and more like an actual person now. So maybe the clip might come out when I am walking the tour, but until then, I think maybe I might keep my hair down because it makes me feel more like a grown-ass adult and less like an oversized toddler. I don't know why I keep doing this. I'm a millennial who cannot take photos without doing this, so after we had some breakfast, we ended up going through several of the shops in the town. We started at the very top of the high street and went into the White Rabbit, which is where I got a crystal that I have been after for a very long time, a bumblebee jasper, which is very exciting for me. And then we ended up making a stop in Sons of Asgard. Many of you will likely recognise Sons of Asgard from my last Glastonbury vlog. They actually moved onto the high street into the old bank building, and the shop is amazing. I may have gone in several times over the course of a few days, and maybe several times over the course of a single day. I did spend a lot of time talking to the shop owners and also buying a lot of the herbs, some oils and incenses, all of which you will see in an up-and-coming haul video. I absolutely adore this shop. They have a huge range of magical herbs and flowers, and while I was in there, I did get a lot of the flowers that I find it really difficult to get elsewhere. We stopped in at the Goddess and the Green Man, a really beautiful store partway up the high street. I'll almost always go in, and their window displays are absolutely beautiful. They never fail to disappoint. Each time we go past, they have completely different displays that represent the seasons, and this time was no different. I made sure to go into the Goddess Temple shop. This one is a little bit harder to find as it's in the courtyard, which is set back from the main high street. But if you do have the chance, it's well worth checking out the courtyard as there are a few really interesting shops. The Goddess Temple shop is associated with the Goddess Temple, which is just across the courtyard. I didn't get anything from this shop this time around, but it's likely that you will probably see a wall mural or a wall tapestry that I have got from them in the past that represents one of my goddesses, Ceridwen. I actually have this in my workshop, and so when I finally get around to doing a workshop/office tour, you'll probably end up seeing it then. I couldn't resist going into the archway and having a look at Stone Age. Stone Age is a really beautiful shop. The outside of it is so interesting to me. I love just looking at it. And even in the middle of Glastonbury, there's still so much nature. There were loads of little birds that were nesting in some of the greenery around the shop itself, and I stood there for a good few minutes just admiring the little birds. Everywhere around Glastonbury, there are little hidden things for you to find, whether that is crystal set into mortar on some of the buildings, murals, or little archways like this one with all of these crystals set into the walls. It's honestly really fascinating. It was partway through the day, after several rainstorms, that we came to the decision to not climb the tour that day. That and the fact that my dad set a rule in place that if any of us slipped on the tour and sat in sheep shit, we weren't allowed to get into the car. So we figured it was probably best to not risk it, and instead we decided to just go out to the Chalice Well Gardens and the White Well. The White Well was actually closed today. Turns out they're only open 3 days a week, but we did get some beautiful shots from the outside, and I did also get a bottle of the White Well water to take home with me. Inside though, you could actually hear either music or people singing, and there were definitely candles lit on the inside, so it seemed like it was a private event of some kind, and it sounded absolutely beautiful. Both the Chalice Well and the White Well are just a few meters away from one another at the base of the tour. The Chalice Well Gardens are privately owned, and you do need to pay to get in, but the gardens are immaculate. They are absolutely beautiful, and ultimately, if we don't pay to maintain them, they simply won't be maintained. Once inside, there are many different areas that you can sit and meditate, you can draw, you can read. It's a quiet space. You aren't meant to have phones on loud, they have to be on airplane mode. It's generally recommended that you keep talking to a minimum because it is a place of contemplation, of meditation, of peacefulness. There are several different sections to the garden that go in tiers as you move up through the hillside. At the very bottom, you have a more manicured grassy area with several pools with benches that you can sit around. As you move up the garden, you have a small area where you can dip your feet into the water, and there is a beautiful waterfall. It's very sheltered under this area, so it's very ambient, and especially when it rains, it's beautiful to just stand under here and listen to the rain and the waterfall. As you work further up the garden, you get to the Lion's Head Fountain. This is where it's recommended that you drink from if you do choose to drink the water, as the water from this fountain is considered safe. They recommend that you add 6 drops of well water into a glass of water, so a little really does go a long way. While I was here, I filled up 4 bottles of water because it's probable that I won't be here for at least another year. While I was here, I cleansed and charged a crystal that had been a gift. It was actually a rainbow moonstone. I wanted to bring home with me some of the energy and the atmosphere of the place, and I felt like the Chalice Well was a good place to do that. Going further into the garden, you ultimately get to the well itself. This is the Chalice Well. It's a sunken well that has a seating area all around it, so multiple people can sit and meditate or contemplate around the well itself. It's very peaceful in here, it's very shady, and I don't think I've ever seen it this quiet. Although there were people around, you always had the opportunity to have time for peaceful meditation, which was absolutely lovely. I realised as I was editing this video that I never actually made an outro. I absolutely loved this trip to Glastonbury, as I always love visiting Glastonbury. It's just such an amazing place. I came away with so many books and items that I will be sharing with you in a future video, and I hope that you enjoyed this video as well, as a way of accessing Glastonbury even if you can't get there yourself. If you ever get the chance to visit, I would thoroughly recommend it. But don't miss out on all of the beautiful, magical places that you might have local to you that maybe aren't as popular as Glastonbury. With that being said, I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, feel free to give it a like. It really means so much to me. If you do have any questions, comments, concerns, video ideas, feel free to let me know in the comment section. And if you do enjoy the magical content on this channel or in this video, feel free to hit subscribe. I try to post content every single week. And with that being said, I hope you have a marvelous magical day. I hope you're all staying safe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! You thought I forgot about you. I didn't. Hi, I was getting B-roll. Embarrassing, I know. Oh, come here. Come here, Babs. You coming with me? Yeah? You coming with me? Right. What am I doing? Am I okay? I'm hungry. I think this is what my problem is. I am hungry. Oh, it's dark in here. Okay. Coolio. Gotta take that off the door. And now I'm finally going.